Hello, I'm Matt and I'd like to welcome you to the channel. If today is your first visit to our channel, please like, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you will know when we upload a new video. In today's video, I'm going to discuss Chapter 5 of my book, Deciding for Life, How I Lost 70 Pounds Without Working Out and While Still Eating Foods That I Love. Chapter 5 is titled Hunger Pain, Workout Pain, and Inability Pain. And I'm going to discuss what each one of those means to me and my system that I call Deciding for Life. I'm going to discuss hunger pain first because it's the one I'm most willing to put up with. If you look at humans in general, and I know me in particular, I really don't like to be hungry. But when I look at my life and the different pains that I can put up with, whether it be hunger pain, workout pain, or inability pain, and I'm going to discuss all of those here shortly, hunger pain is the one that I'm most willing to put up with. When you look at the history of the human race, I can kind of understand why hunger pain is such a hard pain to get over. You know, currently, for us humans to get food is relatively easy. But if you look at the history of the human race, it hasn't been so easy. If you just go back a little, probably about 100 years ago, people didn't have the plentiful food that we have today. So I can kind of understand why it's in our DNA to want to fill and eat when we get hungry, because for much of history, people didn't know if they were going to be able to eat tomorrow. So adding that additional fat to your body, it made sense when food wasn't so plentiful. But to me, because food is so plentiful today, I just can't see why I would want to have all that extra weight on my body that my heart and my lungs have to provide blood and oxygen for. And, you know, back 100 years ago, when you didn't know if you were going to eat tomorrow, I can understand, hey, you need to have all that extra fat so that you can get through those times when you don't have food. But it's a really rare day in our, at least here in the United States, when we can't get something to eat. I mean, even if you look at our poor people, it's amazing that a good majority of them are overweight, but they're considered poor. A lot of that has to do with the poor food choices that we make as a whole, not just poor people. But as a whole, we're all, as a whole for a country, we are kind of on the heavy side. And it's because we make poor food choices. For me, I'm a little bit hungry most of the time with my Deciding for Life system. And sometimes, especially when I get towards the end of my system week, I do get a bit hungry. But to me, that beats the heck out of having the inability pain. And one of the other things about hunger pain versus workout pain and inability pain, the hunger pain has been really easy for me to deal with this system. When I'm trying to eat right and working out at the same time to lose weight, sometimes it's hard to see the weight loss, because when you're working out, you're tearing muscles, and your body's response to that is to add fluid around those micro tears, and all of that, and you're adding muscle mass, which adds weight to your body. So sometimes it's really hard to see the weight loss when you step on a scale, which is the most convenient way to see progress when you're trying to lose weight. And, I know there are systems out there that talk about, weighing yourself once a week, or, not weighing yourself at all. But for me, I like to see progress. And one of the things with the hunger pain and with my Deciding for Life system that works for me is that I can see results just by making small adjustments with what I eat. It gets a lot more complicated when I'm trying to work out at the same time that I'm trying to adjust my diet, because then I'm fighting those two things. I'm losing weight because I'm not eating so much, but then I'm gaining fluid and, some muscle mass that offsets it. So it's kind of hard to see. But when you concentrate just on one thing, which is being hungry and paying attention to what you eat, it's a lot easier, and it was for me, to lose this 70 pounds. And I've lost weight a few different ways. I've worked out, hard with the Body for Life system the first time, and lost weight. Yeah, and I lost it faster than using my Deciding for Life system. But this is so much easier when I'm just paying attention to what I'm eating and what I'm putting in my pie hole. So for me, for my body, deciding for life, being hungry most of the time, being really hungry some of the time, that's worth it to me, not to deal with the other pains. And now I'm going to talk a little bit about the workout pain. The workout pain, there's several different workout pains. One is just a pain to go work out. It's an inconvenience a lot of times to go work out. I think it's better for people to go work out. And since I've, gotten my weight down, I have started working out again. But and that's part of why I can really tell you that it was so much easier to lose the weight and initially maintain the weight before I started working out just by controlling my diet. Because once I started working out again, then I'm combating those, those two things that are fighting each other, which are, I'm losing weight because I'm, eating better, but I'm gaining some weight from muscle and fluid. So it's harder to see on that simple thing that we like to use, which is the scale. And once you've lost weight, it's not as easy to see it in the measurements. My weight's gone up a little bit, but my measurements haven't moved up. So I know it's, adding some muscle, but it was a lot easier to see and a lot easier to stay motivated by just focusing on my diet and not trying to focus on diet and working out at the same time. If you can do that, great. And if it works for you, that's great. But for me, this is what works better. And some of the other pains with, workout pain, and I've been there, I beat myself up with workout pain. I've done the Body for Life workouts and runs, and the first time I lost some weight, I think it was 30 or 40 pounds. I did that, and it was in about 12 weeks that I did that because it was a 12-week program at the time. And, I beat myself up doing the weight workouts and the run workouts. And the second time when I lost 80 pounds, I walked a whole bunch. I mean, I was walking 12 miles typically in a day. Even once I walked 16 miles in a day. And it's interesting to see the effect that it has, because it initially had great effect, but over time it just seemed to not have as great an effect. But I'd still tear up my feet and, get chafed from walking so much and all, sweating and being in damp clothes while I was walking around. So, and I talked about that a little bit in the previous video. So if you want to, hear a little bit more about that, you can go watch the previous video. But I beat myself up. And really, when I started this program or this process this time, I really intended to start working out when I got down to about 200 pounds. But seeing how well it was working and how easy the weight was coming off just by focusing and being very intentional about what I ate. For 6 days a week, I was very intentional about eating right. And then that seventh day, I was very intentional about eating what I needed to eat in order to enjoy myself, so that I had something to look forward to each week. And that worked very well for me. The last thing I want to talk about is inability pain. And in a way, maybe it should have came first. But the way I wrote the book, it's the third thing in the list. And inability pain is the one that I'm not willing to put up with anymore. When I talk about inability pain, I'm talking about that pain that you suffer when you can't do the things that you want to do because of your weight. Or, you can't do it as well, or you can't do it as easily. That's the inability pain. That's the pain that I am least willing to put up with anymore. I want to be able to do the things that I want to do. And in order to do the things that I want to do, I have to maintain a realistic, body mass index weight. Because I know, having lost weight twice, a substantial amount of weight, I lost 80 pounds the first time, 70 pounds this last time. I didn't, and how I can say that is I lost 80 pounds. I didn't go back up to what I was, which, that was some of maintaining some of my diet the way that I did to lose it. But, so I didn't gain all the weight back plus some like, I did the previous time. The previous time I got down to 185 and then blew up to over 265. Losing 30 or 40 pounds is pretty substantial. But when you look at losing 80 pounds and 70 pounds, that's really what I call losing a substantial amount of weight. And, it's amazing how much difference you feel. I recently, yesterday, I put out a video where I put 70 pounds of weight, 70 pounds of lead in a backpack and went for a walk. And boy, was that a really good reminder of how much more difficult it is to do the things I want to do. Is something as simple as going for a walk. That's how much losing 70 pounds or 80 pounds makes a difference to somebody, if that's what you need to lose to get to a proper body mass index. So, when I talk about inability pain, and I've talked about it before in other videos, I remember one time that I was just so overweight, I couldn't dig some post holes for some fence posts, so I had to have my daughter do it. And that's a pain that that I'm never going to feel again. I'm going to keep my weight where I need to keep it. And using my Deciding for Life system, that works for me. And with all that being said, I'm not a medical professional. I don't give any medical advice. My goal with my book and with my videos is to inspire you to find a healthy way with your health conditions, to find a healthy weight for you. What's healthy for me is not necessarily healthy for you. You really need to consult with your doctors and, the other medical personnel in your life to make sure that whatever changes that you make in your life are healthy for you and will help you get to that weight that you want to be at. My goal with this is to inspire you to find a healthy way to live a healthier and happier life. If you like the video, please like, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you will know when we upload a new video. If you think this video can be helpful to a friend or family member that might be overweight, please share it with them. Because if this video can inspire them to get to a healthier weight, that's what the goal of this channel and my book is to inspire people to get to a healthier weight so they can feel what I feel. The ability to do all those things that I either couldn't do before or couldn't do as well before because I was toting around 70 pounds. That's kind of funny if you do go watch my video of putting 70 pounds of lead in a backpack and going for a walk. I really wish I could express how much that really reminded me of how much 70 pounds feels like to carry around. And then to put it down, and it feels better to put the physical weight down, but it doesn't feel nowhere near as better as it does to not have that weight on my body in the first place. So if you think this can inspire a friend or family member, please share. If you have an idea or a comment or a question, please leave a comment in the comment section because I do answer all of my comments. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. I hope you have an awesome and happier and lighter day.